If you are tired of being ignored, receiving cold answers, seeing it interested in other guys while you stay at friend zone, then get ready. Because what you will discover today will change your life forever. But beware, this video can be removed at any time. What I will reveal here about female psychology goes against all politically correct discourses. These are knowledge that few men have the courage to admit that they work. There is a secret that 97% of men will never find out. Such a powerful knowledge that it can transform any man ignored into an irresistible someone, literally making women who once rejected him beg for his attention. Harvard University studies show that 89% of men erroneously interpret female signs. They chase when they should retreat. They beg when they should ignore. They are available when they should be scarce. Have you ever wondered why that guy who treats her barely get all the attention of her? Why the more you strive, the more she walks away? The answer is in biology. And today, you will master these secrets. First, I need to open your eyes to a brutal reality. You are interpreting everything wrong. She says, "You're very cute, but..." You listen. Compliment. Neurobiological reality. Sign of rejection disguised as kind. It takes hours to answer your messages. You think, she must be busy. Scientific truth. The female brain prioritizes communication with those who arouse interest. If you are not a priority, you do not arouse attraction. Neuroscience proved, women process attraction in the limbic system, the primitive part of the brain. It's not rational. It is instinctive. It is chemistry. And there are specific patterns that activate this chemistry. UCLA research reveals that women send an average of 52 subtle signals before showing obvious interest. 50-2 signs that go unnoticed by the ordinary man. While you try to conquer it with logic flowers, expensive dinners, statements, it is being conquered by someone who understands the secret language of your primitive subconscious. The result? You become the cool guy she respects, but never wants to. The confidant. The friendly shoulder. Never the object of desire. But there is a way out. There is a method. And in the next few minutes, I will reveal exactly how to reverse this dynamic. Now I will reveal something that few dare teach. Signs appear in clusters, never isolated. This is what we call behavioral constellations. Cluster 1. Signs of disguised interest. She criticizes her choices, but keeps talking. Asks personal questions disguised as casual curiosity. Mentions other men to test their reaction. Plays your hair or adjusts your clothes when you speak. The female prefrontal cortex creates these social masks to test your emotional intelligence. She wants to know if you understand the game or if it's just another ordinary man. Cluster 2. Signs of qualification test. It provokes you or Zoe you. Makes comments about your style or personality. Compare you with ex-boyfriends. Create situations of social competition. Attention, these are not signs of disinterest. They are evolutionary tests. It is checking if you have the alpha genes needed to protect and lead. Cluster 3. Signs of hidden submission. She seeks her approval indirectly. Want to know your opinion on personal things. It positions itself physically close, even complaining about space. I laugh at your jokes even when they are not funny. When a woman tests you, she is actually qualifying for you. The female brain only invests energy testing men he considers genetically valuable. And here is the point. 90-5% of men fail in tests because they try to please instead of leading. They explain instead of showing value. They justify themselves instead of keeping the frame. But why does this happen? The answer lies in our most primitive evolutionary programming. Get ready for a truth that goes against everything they taught you. Attraction is not about being nice. It is about primitive biology. For 200,000 years, women survived by choosing men capable of protection and provision. Their brains still carry this ancestral programming. When a woman finds a high-value man, her sympathetic nervous system is activated, pupils dilate, heartbeat accelerate, cortisol is released, dopamine floods the reward system. Do you know what this reaction causes? It is not kind. It is not availability. It is scarcity and uncertainty. Stanford University studies have proven the female brain interprets constant persecution as low genetic value. Why? Alpha men do not persecute, they are persecuted. 3 hormones control female attraction: dopamine, activated by unpredictability; norepinephrine, released by tension and challenge. Phenylethylamine, produced by mystery and distance. The more you become predictable and available, the more you suppress these hormones. This is why relationships die not for lack of love, but for excessive predictability. High-value men demonstrate 3 specific neurological characteristics. Social trust. Do not seek external validation. Emotional control. Do not react to women's tests. Temporal scarcity. Your time has measurable value. Now that you understand science, let me reveal how to use this knowledge to completely invert the game. Here is the secret that can change your life. Stop persecuting. The law of scarcity rules all human attraction. What is difficult to obtain becomes automatically more valuable in the female subconscious. Strategy 1. Strategic withdrawal. When she tests you or shows disinterest, do not explain your behavior. Do not try to win back with gestures. Simply move away psychologically. This withdrawal activates the loss system in her brain. The same system that makes us value something only when we lose. Strategy 2. Reversal of frame. Instead of trying to impress her, make her qualify for you. What makes you different from other women? Beyond beauty, what qualities do you really have? Why should I invest my time in you? These questions change the axis of the conversation and force her brain to justify because it deserves your attention, creating subconscious emotional investment. Strategy 3. Social competition creation. Subtle demonstrate that other women value you. Mention invitations you received. Show that your time is disputed. Be seen interacting positively with other women. This activates the instinct of intrasexual competition. Women are biologically programmed to wish men that other women want. Strategy 4. Temporal control. Become unpredictably available. Sometimes respond fast, sometimes takes time. Accept some invitations, decline others. Demonstrate that it has an independent life of it. This unpredictability maintains its reward system constantly activated like a slot machine. I will give you a practical example. John, 28, spent 6 months chasing Anna. Result: friend zone. Applied these strategies for just 3 weeks. Anna began to look for him, questioning where he was, to strive to get his attention. This is not manipulation. It is communication in language that the female primitive brain understands. You are aligning your behavior with biology, not fighting it. If you have gotten here, you are different. You are not like the 90-7% who prefer to live in ignorance. You want real results. But this is just the surface. Over the past 10 years, I've studied more than 15,000 interactions between men and women. I document patterns that most will never realize. And there is still much more to reveal. Because understanding biology is just the beginning. In the next passage, you will find out how to turn this knowledge into identity. How to stop just act as a man of value, and start being a man of value. And there is still much more to reveal. Because understanding biology is just the beginning. The true secret is to transform knowledge into identity. Many men even learn techniques, decorate phrases, rehearse strategies. But they keep failing because deep down, they still carry the mentality of scarcity. They still believe they need to gain approval. They still act as if the woman were the prize. Let me tell you a story. Carlos, 32, engineer. Intelligent, hardworking, had everything to be valued. But each time he knew a woman, he did the same thing. He offered himself too much, showed interest too soon, canceled commitments to be available. Result? Rejection behind rejection. Carlos thought the problem was him. That was not beautiful enough. That was not rich enough. That was not interesting. But when Carlos understood the shortage of scarcity and began to apply it, everything changed. He was not beautiful. It was not a millionaire. It did not become an athlete. What changed was your posture. He started to put himself as a priority. He came to answer when he had time, not in despair. He began to have fun with women's tests, instead of leading as an offense. In a few weeks, the same women who ignored him began to compete for his attention. Why? Because finally their brain identified, this man has value. The human brain is programmed to react to what is rare. Think of diamonds. Think of gold. Think of any luxury object. They are not valuable because they are useful. They are valuable because they are scarce. This is exactly how it works with men. A man that everyone can have, no one values. But a man that few can conquer, this activates the feminine obsession. And here is another point that almost no one tells you: the attraction is cyclical. It is not enough to conquer. It is necessary to keep the cycle active. Women do not want constant emotional stability. They want ups and downs. They wish tension and relief. They want the emotional roller coaster that activates dopamine, norepinephrine, and phenylethylamine in the brain. This is why predictable men lose space. And that is why men of value keep women interested for years, until decades. Now pay attention, because I will reveal you the 4 fatal errors that destroy any chance of attraction. First error: excessive validation. Men who praise too much, approve too much, accept everything. When you do this, she understands that she doesn't have to work hard. Second error: justify yourself. Whenever a woman questions you and you explain so much, you lose power. Men of value do not explain, demonstrate. Third error: predictability. Always available, always online, always ready. Her brain shuts down. Fourth error: seek approval. If your happiness depends on her answer, you have already lost the game. Now, see how to reverse each of these mistakes in power. Excessive validation? Transform into scarcity of compliments. Just compliment when it really is different. Justify yourself? Transform into mystery. Answer with humor, with irony, silence. Predictability? Transform into unpredictability. Surprise. Short when she expects presence. Appear when she thinks you wouldn't come. Seek approval? Transform into self-sufficiency. Show that your life is complete with or without it. I will give you a practical example of conversation. She says, "Why didn't you answer my message yesterday?" The ordinary man explains, "Oh, I was busy, sorry, my cell phone discharged, I had a lot of work." The man of value responds, "I was busy, living," and changes the subject. Do you notice the difference? One is justified. The other conveys mystery and value. And remember, women don't fall in love with what they understand. They fall in love with what they feel. You can give 1,000 logical explanations. If you don't activate emotional circuits, it's no use. Another University of Michigan study showed that women report higher levels of attraction by men who make them feel light and controlled insecurity compared to men who offer total security from the outset. This does not mean treating badly. It means creating tension, creating unpredictability, creating space for her brain to work. Now imagine you applying this in your daily life. Imagine a woman testing you, trying to tease you. The ordinary man gets nervous, tries to fix, defends himself. The man of value smiles, ignores or responds with humor. Who arouses attraction? Always the second. And here comes a revelation that can shock you. The more a woman tests you, the more attraction she feels. Tests are not signs of rejection. These are signs that she wants to confirm if you really are the value man who appears to be. Each test surpassed is like a biological seal. This man is strong. This man deserves my energy. Therefore, never run away from the tests. They are your passport to the actual attraction. Now you may be thinking, but that seems difficult. It seems tiring. The truth is that at first it is. Because you are reprogramming years of wrong conditioning. You were taught to please, to be cute, to be available. But when you internalize these new attitudes, they become automatic. You do not pretend confidence. You are confident. You do not pretend scarcity. Your life is scarce because it is full of projects and goals. You do not pretend emotional control. You really don't get down because you understand the game. Have you noticed that in any group of people there is always a man who seems to command the energy of the environment? He may not even be the most beautiful, nor the richest, but his simple presence changes the mood. People laugh more when he speaks. Women pay more attention. Men show respect. This man dominates without apparent effort. Do you know what he does? He does not seek to be accepted. He assumes that he is already accepted. Your body language communicates this even before the words. Shoulders backwards, firm steps, look that runs the atmosphere as at home. He does not ask for permission to be there. It simply belongs. And the female brain is incredibly sensitive to it. A University of Texas survey showed that women can evaluate a man's confidence level in less than 7 seconds of observation. They need not hear anything. They just observe posture, facial expression, eye contact. Now think of you entering a social environment. The ordinary man looks at the floor, moves on his cell phone, tries to hide. The man of value observes calmly, interacts in a relaxed way, is in no hurry to impress. Who arouses attraction? Always the second. And here is a powerful metaphor. Imagine 2 lions. One walks restless, looks everywhere, looks nervous. The other walks slowly, without haste, as if nothing could threaten him. Which one do you think lionesses follow? Exactly. Silent confidence is more powerful than any forced demonstration. Let me tell another story. Ricardo, 26, shy, always felt invisible at parties and bars. Until it decided to apply a simple principle: leader's body language. No arms crossed, no hiding on your cell phone. He started to take up space, to maintain eye contact longer than the ordinary, to speak slowly. At first it looked strange. But in a few weeks, the results were clear. Women began to approach. Men began to include him in conversations. Ricardo did not change his face, did not change his bank account. Changed your energy. And here is a secret almost never revealed. Attraction begins long before the first word. You can say everything right, but if your posture says low value, nothing works. On the contrary, you can say little, but if your presence communicates scarcity and confidence, the female brain already activates the trigger of attraction. Now let's talk about social environments as a stage of value. There is a fundamental rule: women not only watch you, they observe it as others react to you. This is called reflected social value. If other men respect you, if other women laugh at your jokes, if you are surrounded by people, your value triggers automatically. The opposite is also true. If you are isolated, ignored, invisible, your value drops. Therefore, whenever you enter an environment, seek to create small social interactions. Great people, change smiles, be seen. It is not about being the center of attention desperately. It is about creating the perception that you are already accepted and valued. Another crucial point: the way you deal with public rejection. Imagine that you approach a woman and she shows no interest. The ordinary man gets nervous, tries to justify, loses energy. The value man simply smiles, wants good night and moves on. And guess what? Many times, this same woman comes back later, because she realized that you didn't depend on her approval. Its reaction to rejection communicates more value than any immediate achievement. Now a golden secret: learn how to use scarcity in social environments. Don't be available for all the time. Circle. Talk, but don't arrest yourself. Demonstrate that you have options, that your time is valuable. This creates a magnetic aura. Women start to wonder, why don't he get stuck in me? What is he so special? This question is the fuel of the attraction. And here comes another factor: the power of the narrative. Men who know how to tell engaging stories dominate social environments. No long and boring stories. Short, emotional stories that convey emotion. Stories show that you live, that you risk, that you experience. Women are attracted to emotion, not logic. If your stories arouse laughter, surprise, curiosity, you plant subconscious attraction seeds. Now think, how many times have you missed opportunities because you were silent? How many times have you tried to impress with facts, but didn't arouse emotion? The secret is not impressing with logic. It is involving with narrative. Another fundamental element: subtle touches. The human brain releases oxytocin, the connection hormone, when there is mild physical contact. A touch on the arm, a firm greeting, a subtle gesture. But beware, it needs to be natural, never forced. The man of value does not seek touches. It lets the environment create opportunities. And now we come to one of the most powerful points: the construction of reputation. In any social circle, your reputation spreads faster than your words. Women talk to each other. They evaluate you not only for what they see, but for what they hear from others. And here is the paradox: the less you seek approval, the more they talk about you. Men of value saw subject. Common men go unnoticed. Remember this: the true attraction does not happen in a single date. It is built in her mind repeatedly through social perceptions. Every smile, every absence, every demonstration of value creates an internal narrative. This man is different, this man is rare, this man has something I want to discover. And in the next passage, I will open the secret of advanced body language. As small gestures can completely change female perception. Like your gaze, your speech pace, even how you take up space can turn you into the men that women chase. Now that you have traveled this whole journey, which discovered truths that 97% of men will never have the courage to face, I need you to understand one thing: nothing changes if you don't change. The world has no pity for insecure men. The world does not reward who begs. Nature does not respect whoever expects sitting. Women do not want those who ask, they want those who choose. You are facing an invisible fork. On the one hand, the usual road: rejection, frustration, lonely nights, the pain of being ignored. On the other hand, the road of rare men: social power, respect, female desire, abundance. And you know what is the difference between these two ways? A decision. A single decision to stop being a spectator and become a protagonist. You don't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be a millionaire. You don't have to be a magazine model. You just need to master the early language of attraction. The same that guided the evolution for thousands of years. The same that pulsates inside the female brain to this day. So I ask you, will you continue wasting your life being invisible? Or will you finally assume the role of man of value? Remember, women do not dream of available men. They dream of men who arouse desire. And desire is born of mystery, trust, scarcity. This is your chance to never be rejected. Never be ignored again. Never be the guy who watches life to pass. The choice is yours. But time does not expect. Comment down here the part that opened your mind the most. And subscribe to the channel.